Alright, welcome to my channel, and this is the LEGO Pacific Rim Jaeger review. And I'm just going to show you a few things about this Jaeger. I'm going to show you the weapons, and then I'm also going to be revealing the name of this Jaeger. So one of the things that I wanted my Jaeger to be able to do is to be able to carry a lot of weapons, which if you've seen Pacific Rim, weapons is very important on a Jaeger. So I built it to where it could have a lot of weapons, and those are majority of the weapons that it can hold, and I will show you all the weapons with the Jaeger. So on the left arm we just have a regular gun and a grappling hook or whatever you want to call it, which is actually what the cable that I showed in the weapons pile goes to. Then on the right arm, I just added a gun that you can just move back and forth, that way it wouldn't be in the way of everything. It can be a gun, and then just fold it back, and then you have a regular hand. Now, what that hole's for, you probably already know, but it's what I will be using for the other weapons. Then the other weapons that I added onto it, I kind of hid them, sort of, not really, but if you fold that back, pull these out, fold it back, you have missiles in the back here. Yeah, it doesn't really do much, but you know, missiles. Who doesn't like a little bit of missiles? And I built this Jaeger to where it could move, the chest piece can kind of move around a little bit. Not very much, but you know. And one of the things that I wanted it to be able to do, I wanted it to be able to turn its waist, which I'm not very good with mechs, Jaegers, or robots, or anything like that with LEGO, but I just barely, it can't turn that much, but I didn't really want it to turn much anyways, just enough to basically where a human can. So, and this right here, it's not very stable, it's the weakest part in the Jaeger. I've dropped this thing, and the only thing that came apart was this right here. It's not very sturdy, which it is a good spot where you can just detach. One thing that I wanted for the legs is whenever I would make some of my older robots or mechs, their legs would always be too skinny and not strong or sturdy whatsoever. So I wanted it to have sort of that thickness to it, and then it'd be able to hold structure, which is literally just a cheap design, but all you have to do is just fold that, and then you have it, which there's nothing really much special to the legs or feet. It's just here and there, but you know, I'm happy with it. Also, one of the things that I do with the arms is I'm not very good with joints, and I don't have a lot of joint pieces to spare. So what I did is I just added 2 of these pieces and just put them together, and then I had a pretty good joint. It could hold up for the most part. It's pretty good. Also, one of the things that I was very on purpose about was that the arm could detach like that. So it's basically and it gives you a lot better stuff to work with, which also when you do that, you can add other things to it, say another hand or arm or whatever you want with it. I was very on purpose about that. And then the body, which the body is nothing special. I just really wanted a sort of cool design to where it could look a bit sturdy, even though it's not. I'm not good at building sturdy Jaegers at all. And then the back is nothing really special, which I'm not great at building the back and making it look good or anything, so all I really did is just added these, which make it look a whole lot better, but still doesn't give it a whole lot. There's no spine or backbone or nothing to it, to this Jaeger, which also, as I've shown you, you can move it around, but all it really is just, this is all just one individual piece. That's all it is. And this is just basically, this is what it is. That's all it is, really. There's nothing too special to it. The only thing that's mainly special about it is that it can shoot missiles. That's it. Now the head at the same time, there's nothing special to it. I just wanted something that would look good and efficient that could go with the Jaeger, which, I mean, it's really just a simple build. I mean, that's all it really is. I mean, the only thing, there's hardly anything that can move on here except for just the glass or the eyes, which just opens up to that. So there's nothing really special about the head, but, you know, I just wanted something that would look efficient and good for the Jaeger. And in case any of you were wondering, the eyes or the glass, whatever you want to call it, it was originally yellow, but I decided to change it that way it looked more like the Jaegers from Pacific Rim. And this is what the Jaeger looks like with the saw on its arm, which all you really do is just swap out the gun, but you can just, all you do is just fold it down and then just spin it whichever way you wish to spin it, and then yeah, you got a deadly saw with your Jaeger. And these are the sword pieces for the Jaeger, which, I mean, I'm not really the biggest fan with these swords on this Jaeger, probably partly because I don't want to take too much away from Gypsy Danger. I mean, I kind of took the color, which I just had really good pieces with that certain color, so I was not trying to copy off of Gypsy. But the swords, I mean, yeah, they're good, but they're not what I prefer for this Jaeger. This is what it looks like with the daggers or knives or whatever you want to call it, which actually are very similar to Striker Eureka's knives. I mean, if you can tell, like, it just looks a lot like it. That's all I have to say about it. I mean, they're real cool. I prefer those than the swords, but then again, yeah, it also looks a lot like Striker's daggers. And this was basically the original reason why I made the harpoon thing arrow, because, I mean, for one, I mostly just added it just because it looks good and it looks more like kaiju equipped. But then also, if you just add a piece of string or chain, if you want, just whatever you want, you can just make it shoot or whatever. This one I'm not really such a big fan on. I mean, all it is just like one of these pieces, which is nothing really special. I don't care for it to be, but it's something that you can just add on to it to make it look good. Then I kind of just add this sort of hammer thing. It's basically what I'm going for, just like a type of hammer or beating thing for kaiju. I mean, I don't really know what it is or it's used for, but I mean, it's good for that reason. Now, these are my favorite added weapon that I can put on the Jaeger. I use them for like extra knuckles or just give it that extra kick or whatever for punching. But I mean, in reality, what I'm sure what other people use them for is claws, because that's basically all it is. It's just one of those claw things. Let's see if I can get it off. Yeah, I mean, it's just these claws, which I just use them for the knuckles, which actually do look pretty good on it. Like I said, it's my favorite thing to add on to it. And that is everything that this Jaeger has and can do. Now, here's a size comparison just with the minifigure. I mean, just for no reason at all. I know some people might appreciate this or not. I don't really know, but you never know. But, yeah, that's about it. I mean, and it's pretty good so far. For me personally, it's a very good Jaeger. It's one of the strongest and more secure Jaegers that I've built, which I will definitely be adding upgrades to it. Then also, I would just like to mention that since this thing is like so big, and I don't have a lot of workspace for stop motion. I do a little bit of stop motion, not very much, but since this thing is so big, it's a lot harder for me to do it. So I will give you videos of this moving around and doing stuff, and if I can find anything, monster or robot, big enough, I'll make it fight. It might not be very good, but that's just one of the issues that I have with it. It's being so big that you can't really make it a good stop motion. And then I want to give a special thanks for the name that I chose for this Jaeger. I want to give a special thanks to Street Traper 99. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly or not, but you commented Sapphire Onslaught, which is what I named the Jaeger, and I think it fits pretty well. I mean, and it's a real good name. Thank you a lot. Appreciate it. And in case you didn't get that, it's Sapphire Onslaught. And if you want to name a Jaeger, I have one more Jaeger built. Now, it might be a while before I build a third one, but I will be revealing that Jaeger, not in this video, but in some future videos I will be doing that. And just to give you a tip, the color of the Jaeger is green. Now, if you want to come up with a name, just put in whatever name you think fits it best. Thank you for watching this video. Sapphire Onslaught, out.